If your house were to burn down, how much homeowners insurance should you have? More specifically, what will it take to rebuild your house? Is it the price on Zillow, the county assessor site, or some mysterious number the insurance company cooks up? Hey there, I'm Tia at Trailstone. Megan from Salt Lake asked me if her home was underinsured because Zillow actually showed her home value at $565,000, but her homeowner's insurance only covered $510,000. Megan, this is a really great question, and many people are asking the same thing. Let's talk about it. Specifically, in this video, I want to discuss the coverage if you needed to rebuild your home. Insurance companies list this amount in your policy as coverage A. There are multiple other coverages you have in your insurance policy, but today we're just talking about issues around the rebuilding cost of your home. We discussed the additional home insurance coverages in other videos, so check this out. Okay, just to clarify what coverage A is. Coverage A is sometimes referred to as dwelling coverage or rebuilding cost, and it's the part of your homeowner's insurance that pays to rebuild your home if it's damaged or destroyed by a covered peril, like a fire, a severe storm, or other unexpected events. The key here is that it's based on rebuilding costs, not your home's market value. So, how do you know what number to use? Well, let's say your homeowner's insurance coverage A is listed at $500,000. How was that number chosen? So typically there are three values that people look at regarding their home that cause confusion. First, what your home might sell for or what you just bought it for. Second, Zillow, Redfin, or some other real estate website. And third, the county assessor site that shows a taxable value. But before we talk about the various values for your home, we should walk through how the insurance companies calculate your rebuilding costs for your insurance policy. Well, insurance companies use what's called replacement cost estimator, or RCE for short, and this is a software to estimate the value of rebuilding the home. Some key details of your home are entered into the RCE, such as the age of the home, location of the home, square footage above and below the basement, design of the home, such as ranch or two-story build, the quality of your finishes in your home, and some special features. And then hundreds of other details are included in the RCE. Then the RCE will provide a recommended rebuilding cost for the home based on the latest cost for materials and labor in your location. So this number is expected to be the cost to rebuild the home in a normal economic condition. So unfortunately, supply chain issues during COVID or suburban fires like the Marshall Fire in Colorado create more unique issues that drive the prices up. And we have a video on rebuilding costs and additional coverages available to help make sure you're covered correctly, but that's a completely other video. Let's get back to talking about the confusion around the different values for your home. Comparing what you would sell your property for to insurance rebuilding cost can be much higher or lower. So when you're listing your home or looking to purchase a home, that value is based on what the market will pay for the home. So there's two scenarios here. One where the home value is more than the insurance rebuilding cost. And on the flip side, when the insurance value is higher than the sales price. First, let's talk about when the home value is more than the rebuilding cost. In this case, there's usually some intangibles involved, like location of the home. Does the home have a great view? Is it located in a desirable school district? Or is it located in an area with a low crime rate? Next, does the home have a large lot? Is it on acreage? Insurance doesn't cover the value of the land and is limited on the landscaping of the lot. So land value is excluding from your rebuilding cost. And low interest rates have also driven home prices up at historical levels, but this is cooling off as of recently, luckily. So let's talk about when the insurance value is higher than the sales price for the house. In this case, the rebuilding cost may be $600,000 and the sales price would be $500,000. Here's some of the most common things I've seen that drive up the rebuilding cost. First is historic or older homes with building materials that are more difficult to find or features things like plaster walls, slate roofs, unique windows, and the list goes on and on. Also, the location of the home or the build site conditions can increase the rebuilding cost. So is the home on the side of the hill, or built on pilings, or is it in a remote area? Also, construction costs vary greatly depending on where you live. For instance, in areas with a high demand for new homes or regions recovering from natural disasters, construction costs can really spike due to a limited availability of labor. Inflation really impacts the price of almost everything, including building materials and labor costs. And over the past few years, we've seen inflation really drive up the cost of lumber, steel, and other construction essentials. So this means that if your home were to be destroyed, the cost to rebuild it today could be much higher than it was just a few years ago. And what about Zillow, Redfin, or the other real estate websites? Well, much like we just talked about the value of your home, Zillow and other sites are great at reporting what homes are projected to sell for, but they do not try to calculate the cost of rebuilding the home. Their algorithms are designed to help estimate what you could sell your home for, and the county assessor site, well, they should know what they're talking about, right? Well, the county assessor site provides values for how much tax should be collected on your property. And some considerations with the county assessor sites, I've seen many times the value of the homes are lower than the market conditions because the assessor doesn't want you to protest the home value or how much tax you ultimately pay to the county. You'll see on most assessor sites, they'll break out the value of the land. So how do you make sure your coverage A reflects the true cost to rebuild your home, taking into account inflation and rising costs? Well, here's a few key steps that you can take. First, monitor local construction costs because building costs can change rapidly, especially in areas with those high growth or those prone to natural disasters. Make sure your insurance coverage keeps pace with these changes. Next, consider inflation guard endorsements. Many homeowners insurance policies offer an inflation guard endorsement, which automatically increases your dwelling coverage each year to keep up with inflation. So this can be a really great way to ensure your coverage remains adequate without having to manually adjust it each year. Next, review your coverage regularly. It's really important to review your policy at least annually, especially if you've made any home improvements. Remodeling your kitchen, adding a new room, or even upgrading appliances can all increase the rebuilding cost of your home. Regular reviews can help you adjust your coverage as needed. If you have any questions about your rebuilding coverage or just want to make sure you have the best insurance rates, reach out to my team here at Trailstone Insurance Group. We would be happy to provide advice for your home and auto insurance policies and shop over 40 insurance companies to make sure you have the right coverage at the best price. Until next time.